Honey, why are you no doctor? This is hurting my throat.
Oh my god.
Hey guys, my name is Ryan and I work in technology consulting.
Hey everyone, my name is Vince and I work as a real estate agent.
And today, we're going to talk about how we picked our careers, why we chose them, and how we got to where we are. If you feel like you're lost or don't know what to do, we were both in the same shoes and definitely struggled with what we were going to do after graduating from college. While this is a personal finance channel, a huge part of personal finance is generating income and finding jobs and opportunities that allow you to do so. Obviously, it's really important to know how to manage and invest your money, but we first have to have money in the first place. But before we begin, we have a very special guest that will be joining us today. This man is a fitness fiend, a productivity persona, and the king of consistency with an awesome YouTube channel that talks about all parts of his life. You should definitely check out his channel after you finish this video, where we also made another collab, and you can watch us play Scribble.io with some other small YouTubers. Vince, can you introduce yourself?
Hey Ryan, thanks for having me. And for those of you who don't know, I previously worked as a personal trainer, a recruiter, and as I just mentioned, I now work as a real estate agent in the state of California, though we could talk about that a little more later. I also run a small YouTube channel. I've been doing daily videos for a little over 6 months now, and my channel is really more of a hybrid between a fitness channel and a vlog channel, just because I'm interested in a bunch of different areas. I really like ultra running, powerlifting, jiu-jitsu, though I like to throw in different types of videos to take you all through my life, so real estate and also hanging out with my cats.
This video is going to be more of a casual, candid, and if you will, intimate conversation about our experiences in picking a career path, and what better place to start than at school. While we both already graduated from university, a little bit of background about me is that I ended up switching majors 2 times during my 4 years. I started with kinesiology, then I went to computer science, and I graduated with MIS. But outside the classroom, I was involved with a lot of different clubs and organizations on campus. I was a part of my school's club tennis team, I was very involved with the Asian and Pacific American community on campus, and my biggest time commitment was probably this community service club, which I was actually the president of my senior year. With that community service club, I spent a lot of my time working in different homeless shelters, food pantries, nursing homes, schools, hospitals, and just doing things around the community. But with all the extracurricular activities I did, I would argue that I learned a lot more in these clubs and organizations than in the actual classroom. With all these clubs and organizations, I learned a ton about leadership, collaboration, event planning, and most importantly, working with people, which is a skill that you can only learn by doing. And the stress of working with people in these organizations definitely taught me a lot more than just homework. But how about you, Vince? What was college like?
I started off at San Diego State as a math major, and I was a math major for 2 years. I took all of the math classes, Calc 2, Calc 3, Discrete, Linear. I even took 3 semesters of physics, though after 2 years, I realized math really wasn't for me. And for about a semester, I was into nutrition. I took a few nutrition courses, chemistry, biology, but then I settled for a double major in Asian studies and sociology. I was also pretty involved on campus. I was president of an Asian/Asian American organization. I was vice president of Phi Delta Theta fraternity, and I was also pledge trainer for Alpha Phi Omega co-ed community service fraternity. And arguably, I learned a lot more in terms of the skill set that I still use today than I did in the classroom. Because I was so involved, I was put in a lot of different positions to learn, especially around leadership, working with a team, speaking, fundraising, and overall just putting on events and how to run a successful organization.
Since graduating, Vince and I are doing different careers, but an important difference is that my job in consulting is a standard salaried job, while Vince's job in real estate is completely sales and commission based. As I was growing up, especially in an Asian household, I was taught that a salaried job was the way to go.
Honey, you need to become the doctor.
But don't get me wrong, there are a lot of pros associated with a standard salary job. When you work a typical 9-to-5 job, that's essentially what it is. You have a lot more structure in your days and your hours. Along with having more structure in your days and hours, there's also more structure in how you get paid, because you'll be receiving a consistent paycheck whether it's once a month, twice a month, every 2 weeks, or whatever your company decides. A lot of people find comfort in this because a consistent paycheck means that you'll be waiting the same amount of time in between each payment. A 9-to-5 can also offer benefits like paid time off, sick leave, insurance, and if your company allows it, stock options. It is the stereotypical comfortable job because your days, hours, and pay are pretty much structured the same.
Pros about being a real estate agent: my life is literally in my own hands. If I produce, I eat. If I don't produce, I don't eat. It's all on me. The harder and smarter that I work, the more money that I'll make and the more successful that I will become. Also, coming from a background of my family being entrepreneurs, I really saw the light in what it means to own your own business and work for yourself. Also, something that my dad taught me a long time ago: work smarter. If you can work in transactions, you can make a lot more money than working hourly. And real estate is one of those businesses is where you work in transactions. You can make 20,000, 30,000, 40,000, 50,000, 60,000, up and up and up per transactions.
Now, no job is perfect, so let's talk about the cons associated with a salaried versus commission-based career. When you're paid on a salary, that means that there's no overtime. So whether you work 40 hours a week or 60 hours a week, you get paid the same. This means that you're capped at what you can make based on your salary and disregarding any bonuses. And this is the biggest con because no matter how hard you work, your paycheck will stay the same. You could be killing it at work, but until you get promoted, you're still going to be making the same amount. And this can influence people to slack off and be lazy because their paycheck won't change until they get promoted.
Cons about being a real estate agent, and really these are pros or cons depending on how you view it. First thing, it's all commission based. If you don't produce, you're not gonna make any money. Number two, you may have to work long hours. There are no set hours. You can work as many as you want or as less as you want. And number three, you get to run your own business how you see fit. But all of these, as I said, it all goes back to you.
But if you're still in college, graduating soon, or are wondering what you want to do for a career, one of my biggest pieces of advice is to go out and get your hands dirty. Throughout my college career, I worked part-time jobs, internships, and when I first graduated, I didn't even work in consulting. I first started in IT. However, you won't know what you like until you find out what you don't like. So go out, try new things, and do the dirty work. There's always this pressure that you're supposed to land some sort of dream internship or dream job as soon as you graduate from college, but that's not really realistic for most people. In my opinion, it's a lot more important to learn how to be resourceful, learn how to work with people, get your hands dirty, and use your experiences to pave your own path.
My biggest piece of advice for those of you who are just graduating is your first job out of college should really be a job in which they are going to teach you a ton of different skills. Yes, the pay matters, but for me, if I had the option of learning more with less pay versus more pay but learning less, I'm going to choose the one that is going to teach me more skills but pay me a little bit less, because that's what you want to do, is just build your skills.
When you're in college, people are always focused on getting the best grades and improving their skills, but don't forget to be a good person too. Personality and character are just as, if not more important than competence, so learning how to be more grateful, mindful, and empathetic will tremendously help you. You can get the best grades and graduate at the top of your class, but if you're a terrible human being, then no company is going to want you. So when you're in college, what you learn in the classroom will only take you so far, but being involved in extracurriculars, clubs, and organizations will teach you a lot more about people and real life situations. And when you're interviewing for a job, everyone else took the exact same classes that you did, but what you did outside the classroom will really define you and make you stand out.
And if you're pivoting careers, just make sure that you can back it up. Though it really depends on what career that you're going to pursue. But in my opinion, for a lot of careers, it's all about skills. So make sure that you have the skills to back it up. The technical skills, but also the people skills, also the adaptability skills, leadership skills, working with a team skills. Skills.
But no matter what career you decide to pursue, we hope that our stories and journeys about how we went from college to where we are today are helpful. You can definitely make money and be successful in any career that you want, as long as you're willing to put in the work and grind for it. But most importantly, your character and your self-worth are not defined by what career you work in or how much money you make. But it's up to you to be a good person in whatever career that you choose.
And just to recap, skills. Become a learning machine and sharpen your skills. Resourcefulness, sales, cold calling, working in a team, leadership. Refine and sharpen your skills. And even better yet, if you can work for someone and they're paying you to sharpen your skills, it's on their dollar. So you're learning and they're paying you. And I'm so glad that I started off as a recruiter, because the skills that I gained as a recruiter, I still use to this very day. And if I have to give one piece of advice, is starting off in your career, well, I guess it depends what type of career you're going for, but in a lot of scenarios, if you can work in sales or recruiting, somewhere where they are going to put you in terrible positions. Because when I worked as a recruiter, I was in terrible positions. I remember my first cold call, I was like, hi, is blank there? And I ran through all my questions, but over the next 2 years, I learned so much because they were paying me and I was sharpening my skills. Again, skills.
I hope you enjoyed this video collaboration, and once again, I want to give a big thank you to Mr. Vince Luu for co-starring this video with me. As mentioned earlier, we did another collaboration on Vince's channel where we talk more about our college experiences in more of a casual podcast kind of style. I'll have that video linked in the description below, but make sure you smash that like button and subscribe if you enjoyed this collaboration. Please leave a comment down below if you had any career-related questions or if you had any thoughts about anything we talked about. If you want 2 free stocks with one of them valued up to $1,400, click the link down below for Webull. And if you're interested in fractional shares and getting 20 free dollars, then click the link down below for M1 Finance. Thank you so much for watching, and make sure you stay financially fashionable.
Ayya, honey, why you making YouTube video?